All right, guys, welcome. This is Ashton with Freedom Fitness Equipment. And in today's video, we're going to talk to you about the state of the union for gym equipment in the United States. All right, so as most of you have seen, prices are going up on pretty much everything. New, used, refurbished, and everything in between. And that's mainly due to inflation and increased demand for items in both the used and the new market. Prices are going up on everything. However, we are seeing some slowdowns and huge reductions in prices as containers of equipment come in from China. Folks like Fray Fitness are discounting kettlebells, free weights, dumbbells, plates, that kind of thing. And they're seeing massive reductions in pricing just to free up some cash flow and get things out there to the public so that they can go back to normal operations. I will say though that as soon as those prices do go back up, they're going to go back up to a much higher rate. You're probably going to see dumbbells somewhere in the range of $2 a pound. And same thing with plates, like $1.50 to $2 a pound. Not crazy pandemic prices of $3 plus, but maybe somewhat close. You're also seeing increases across the board on things like barbells, benches, racks, that kind of thing. So the more pricey stuff, and then just the basics and the free weights. In the new market in particular, here's some proof points. So Hitemp bumpers, they're now at $3 a pound instead of the traditional $2 a pound. If you look at the package prices on, say, Rogue's website, if you look at their mil-spec bumpers, which are basically Hitemps or Crumb bumpers, those have increased significantly. They used to be about $2 a pound, at least in my recollection. In-flight functional trainers, I think In-flight is now with Walmart, and their pricing even has gone up, I think as much as $500 to $1,000 even as of a year or two ago for just a basic functional trainer that most people are gonna find in a training studio or a home gym. Bench pricing has gone up, particularly for us, the resellers and wholesalers. Bench pricing at the wholesale level has gone up. The numbers are gonna continue to rise mainly due to labor costs, supply chain issues that are continuing, gas prices, and just shipping to get equipment to you or to us is significantly more expensive. So if you can, double down on local retailers, used gym equipment stores like ours, or folks that are local to you who have new or used gym equipment to sell. You'll save on shipping costs, you'll save on all those extra fees, and you'll get a good deal. Prices on gym flooring is another example of where things have just skyrocketed. I remember when you could get a good stall mat for $45, $50. Now it's $55, even as high as $60 for a basic stall mat. And those things, they're not always cut straight and they have a diamond pattern, but even our pricing on like these regular premium gym flooring mats that don't have any sort of odor and are flat on both sides, even that has gone up significantly. In the used market, equipment has come down compared to the pandemic, but it is, I mean, people, again, just going back to this comment, Garage Gym Experiment put out a really good question for all of their followers, just asking, you know, have you seen the used market go up, down? Is it dead? What's going on? And a lot of people just said people aren't selling that far off from new. And so you'll see an air bike like what we have here, and it'll be $100, $200 discounted from what it is for retail, which is ridiculous. It never used to be that way. You could buy a good fan bike for a couple of $100 on the used market if you can find one. But now I think, honestly, it may end up being the new normal, or we may just see inflated prices temporarily. Some people are still holding on to their old pandemic prices. Some people are just saying, hey, there's not a lot of stuff out there. What I've got is a premium. It's a good product, and I'm not going to sell it that much under new retail. So this may be a new normal. Dumbbells, you know, they can be available for anywhere from $1 to $1.50 a pound. You used to be able to get them a lot cheaper, so that price has come up. Honestly, I think rubber hex dumbbells, particularly brand new ones, are going to end up averaging out to $2 a pound or more, particularly in the next 6 to 12 months. Fan bikes, again, like I mentioned, not that far off retail in the used market. And honestly, good luck finding a functional trainer for anything under $1,000. The prices on those, I mean, the prices on new functional trainers have gone up, but the prices on used functional trainers, minimum about $1,200. And that's used. You used to be able to find those things. I think you could probably find them $500 to $1,000 on the used market, and they were more available. But now you have to take it apart, and it's going to cost you an arm and a leg. Stall mats used to be cheap. But even on the used end, they're still inching up closer to the new prices. So you're seeing $40 and $50 for a used stall mat, something that's sitting in a CrossFit gym or somebody's home gym. And you may be able to get a bulk discount for a bunch of stall mats, but I think people are now drawing the conclusion, I think appropriately, between stall mats and home gyms and saying, hey, if I say this is for a home gym, I can increase the price a little bit because these home gym enthusiasts are crazy about gym equipment. They really want good flooring, and they're willing to pay a premium for gym flooring. So if you can find good stall mats that are used, go for them, get them. I'm always a huge fan and advocate for used gym equipment, but you may be paying a premium if you're just looking on the Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist ads. The one thing I'll say about the used market in closing is that the used market is poised to take off in about 2022, late 2022 or early 2023. And it's going to take off in a couple of ways. I think you're going to see prices that are even higher than they are now. And you're also going to see people flocking to used markets as the new equipment prices continue to go out of control. So stay tuned. If you're waiting for deals, I'm not so sure about the future here. I think the used market is going to be the place as we go into the recessionary period to get good deals. Just from an industry perspective, I wanted to talk about a few major acquisitions that have happened recently. So I think it was in 2020, Peloton acquired Precor. That was a big acquisition.
It felt like the right time in terms of Precor and its assets. And as we look at what we think will be a lot of value accrued to Peloton, you look at their manufacturing capabilities.
And just recently, Rogue acquired Ghost. I'll talk about that here in a minute. But just from an industry perspective, smaller companies that started during the pandemic and didn't have the capital to keep going, I think are going to get snapped up, particularly ones that started during the pandemic. Honestly, if you just had a business out of the pandemic and you were reaping all the rewards of that and all the demand, and that demand has suddenly dropped off, I think it's going to be really hard for those who don't have full-time jobs and this is their side hobby to keep going. For people who, this is just their side business, it'll probably continue to be fairly lucrative and they'll be able to, maintain some sort of brand presence. But if you're not able to invest money in marketing and ads and getting the word out there, there's some of these smaller companies that I can easily see continuing to be consolidated with some of the bigger players. The Ghost acquisition is particularly big for Rogue. They have a custom lineup, high-end equipment, and they can start to move into more of the kind of what I'll call S tier of gym equipment. So before, Rogue wasn't really customizing a whole lot of stuff. They have the Zeus line of barbells and some other customizations. All right, let's turn our focus and attention to the commercial gym market. Peloton, which acquired Precor back in 2020, is one of the major players there's some rumblings about. So this is still a rumor. I can't substantiate this just yet. I haven't seen news articles, but I believe Peloton is looking to sell Precor for half. That's right, half of its original purchase value. Precor is a phenomenal brand. They offer strength and conditioning equipment that is absolutely top notch. They're on a level with Fray Fitness and Matrix and those other big brands. But Precor stock has definitely taken a hit just in terms of the brand equity and the brand value. So I think Peloton, in looking to offload Precor, is a really, really bad sign. They acquired a company they really didn't know what to do with, and now Precor is struggling, the brand is struggling, and they're just looking to offload that asset or really that debt liability at this point. So I predicted this. I said, when I was writing up my notes, I have it here, I said, I think if Peloton tanked Precor, and they're probably going to be looking to offload it in the next couple of years. And sure enough, here's the news. Ding, ding, ding. Precor is going to be sold off by Peloton here soon. So we'll see who buys it, if anybody buys it. I don't think it would be a good play for somebody like RepFitness, who's invested so much time and effort in the home gym community, to acquire somebody like Precor, but maybe it does, and they could just extend their commercial arm with that. So maybe that's another company, going back to what I said about RepFitness and their competitiveness with Rogue, that they could acquire if it's not too much capital expense. That's the juiciest piece of news I have from the commercial gym equipment universe. So let's move on to some other stuff. Let's talk about the home gym market. So the home gym market is still going strong, and I believe that any companies that invest in the home gym market going forward are going to do extremely well. There are companies like RepFitness that are actually pulling back on some of their SKUs for the home gym market, Precor as well. They're pulling back on their SKUs for the home gym market to 1 or 2, and this is really hurting businesses that are trying to sell to home gym and smaller market clients. But I believe that more businesses are going to start to invest in the home gym market moving forward, and this is going to actually super saturate the home gym market even more so than you've seen in the past. So in the coming months, you'll see a lot more people that are flocking to the used gym equipment stores for their home gym needs. I've mentioned this before, marketplaces for equipment moving forward are going to be much more volatile, and a lot of people are going to be looking there for good gym equipment deals. New equipment retailers are also going to suffer heavily, particularly in the home gym space, if they don't diversify. So if they're just selling new gym equipment, or even if they're just selling commercial equipment and they're not selling home gym equipment, or they're not selling used gym equipment, I think they're going to suffer, particularly in this inflationary period that we're seeing. So the home gym market is as strong as ever, but there is some interesting shifts that are on the horizon here. All right, lastly, just in terms of the State of the Union, in terms of trends in lifting and what kind of sports are more popular or less popular, there's a number of trends in lifting, particularly strongman. Strongman is really coming to the fore. Strongman implements are going to explode in popularity, particularly in coming years. There's probably going to be a 5-year time horizon to really make it mainstream, but this is due to prominent lifters like Eddie and Half4 doing boxing matches and just really getting out there in the public eye. There's a really charismatic celebrity profiles that are getting out in the public space in strongman, Brian Shaw, those kind of guys, and they're really making a push to make this more popular. Strongman is something very easily picked up in the home gym space, going back to the home gym conversation I was just having with you guys, and home gym strongman implements are amazingly easy to construct. You can just pick up a rock or an object, a block, and do strongman movements with a very simple set of tools. Sandbags and things you can get from Home Depot. So I think you'll likely see more companies piling on to this strongman trend. Let's talk a little bit about CrossFit, the #1 sport people love to hate on, and I think for good reason. So CrossFit is dying. I'm not sure if it's the takeover of new leadership or whether there are just more negative associations with the brand than ever before, but I believe that all of these negative associations and past history with CrossFit and the new things that people aren't liking still plague the industry. So I think this is, CrossFit being driven forward by Rogue, and I was talking to, Make WODs Great Again, and he was discussing how Rogue could continue to push CrossFit internationally, and it has much more broad reach internationally. But I think here in the States in particular, which is what this video is about, CrossFit's popularity is declining, and you're seeing more of a popular trend in terms of powerlifting and strongman, and CrossFit is just becoming increasingly less popular. So keep that in mind as you're looking around at the gym market and things that are going to become available. If you're into strongman, you might see a lot more of those implements, and particularly in powerlifting, you'll see a lot more of those kind of bars and things become available, even as CrossFit kind of fades into the background. Guys, thank you so much. Follow us on social media, Freedom Fitness Equipment or Freedom Fitness Equipment 1 on Instagram and YouTube. Guys, that's it for the State of the Union for gym equipment. Follow us at freedomfitnessequipment.com or Freedom Fitness Equipment on social media. Thanks, guys, and stay tuned for our next video.